Hello, I have here again the $140 Lego Creator 3-in-1 Main Street set. It comes with 1,459 pieces, but here I have taken it apart on Twitch, and then I've put it back together on Twitch into the alternate model. Well, one of the alternate models. It is a 3-in-1 after all. I did the main, the primary build review that uses all the pieces. This is the secondary one. So this is the one that uses the second most pieces and gives you a completely different layout with a lot less modularity to this one, but a lot more depth. Let's take a closer look. First of all, really quickly, I went through all of the minifigures in the main review for the main build, and for this one, they just give you suggestions for mixing and matching some of the parts, which is good. I'm going to leave the minifigures just spread about just for the sake of scale. And this first space over here has the nice 3D signage with a pretty believable looking SLR camera with an old style flash. And they've got a photograph over here. So you might think that this is a photography shop or a photo studio or something like that, where you can get either services or products related to photography. But it's not entirely that. As far as I can tell, this is a little travel agency that's just down here. It doesn't include the space up above, just down here. Little office, and here you can see more evidence of that. So you've got a camera here, but then a telescope as well, and behind the desk where the employee would sit, more pictures of destinations. You got the map there and a little suggestion of an African safari. Yeah, I think that's what this is, and I think that works nicely for a little bit of role play in the space. The spot up above that does carry some of the color scheme through, carries the there's tan up on top. There's the same color of the light royal blue for the window frames, and then the tan, but otherwise it doesn't seem to be connected in any way. The roof over here is done a little bit funny, but inside of this, check it out. It's just some casual sit-down space, and in fact, looks like it's completely open and connected to the next spot over. So this here, you just have a table here and a couple of seats, a couple things on the wall for decoration, and a lamp up above. Next to it, in this overhang space, we'll back up again and take a look at what the whole thing looks like. But a couch, which realistically can only hold one person. Technically, you can just barely make two people very extremely awkwardly sit side by side there, kind of. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, just a couch. Little side table there with the all-important coffee mug and a torchiere over there. And then this also has a pass-through directly into the next space, which, watch your step right here, because there is a step. It does change in height. And this is, at first I thought it was bathroom, but I think it's actually kitchen, because I think this is supposed to represent a miniature fridge over on the left. And then you've got your sink right there. And then I think this is like stove, and then just another open countertop space. So pretty simple, no restroom in this space. And I don't know if those are intended to be connected to this unit here. So it could be that this is part of a unit here, like a home office space that you can just rent, or it could be connected to all of this. So all of this could be one. Again, there's no restroom anywhere in here. So, you don't have a complete thing. You definitely have to fill in some blanks yourself. But yeah, little office space here. It's pretty nice. It's pretty swanky. It's set up pretty well. You got a little planter off in the corner. This is just AC unit and antenna up there. And then on top of the kitchen space is just an outdoor little lounge area. So this is, just a lounge chair, and that's it. So it's just a space where you can come and relax, get some sun. You got a planter off to the side, handrail going all the way around, and you can clearly see how they're intending for this to represent the whole place being cut off. So this is not supposed to represent the entire building. I think that helps to sell it a little bit more. And then finally, this area here has some extra detail around the roof. And again, the lighter blue colored frames, the window frames, are used through here. Used up some of these extra tiles to give you some different detail, different textures here. Like each of these sections has a completely different style outside, different visual style. And over here we get a little bit more traditional, again, a little bit more standard, a little bit more basic. And this finally is a florist shop or a nursery down here with the 3 different planters. They've got a potted small tree off to the side, and you can change the angle of this just a little bit so it sticks out if you've got plenty of room, but you can kind of tuck it in without doing any rebuilds. If you want to bring something up closer to this, it might give you the room to make it happen. And around the back here, you can see the interior of that. So they've built up a few planters there, a few pots, and used the extra foliage pieces to good effect. Got a, I'm gonna call this a creeping fig over here. I don't know, but the color of flower though might not be that, but yeah, it's just what I want it to be. And an extra spot over here. If somebody has a return, maybe they can bring something in, use the leftover pieces, put something here, but there's no cash register. There's no place to actually check out. But that is it. Those are the spots. What I like here most is that this has a consistent depth, and it's way more depth than most of the spots on the main build. You have in many of these spaces 4 studs or even more of depth that are usable by minifigures, where you can pose multiple minifigures. You can actually have them walking along. You can put them in your hand and like pass it off through the doorway to the next space. Whereas with the main build, ironically, there are far fewer things that you can do in each space just because there isn't room. It's that older style where there just isn't depth. So you can put a figure in a spot, but then that's it. But here you can actually put a figure sideways. I could have multiple figures going through here. All that works. I can even have practically, this technically can work. You can have 2 figures facing each other. I mean, they're really, really close, but they can be facing each other. And I put another figure in this space. You just can't do that with those other ones in the main build, that uses way more parts. You can't do stuff like this. Can't have a meeting like this. So yeah, this is a good thing about this particular rebuild. And also, incidentally, you get one 8x16 standardized module with this one. It's strange how that turned out, but I don't know if they intended it that way, but this here is 8x16. So technically this fits with the general size that they've established for Harry Potter and Friends and City. And well, it's been used prior to this year as well, but it's a common size. However, this is clearly intended to be a ground floor, and then the upper floor here is not removable, so this really isn't modular other than in the sense that you can have these 3 groups separate from one another. But ideally, you should probably take some of this off or add some more back here, some more spare plates, just so that this isn't awkwardly able to rock that way. Each of these groups, I think, looks pretty good, but when you put them all together, it's very jumbled to me. And in my personal opinion, this does not do enough to redeem the Main Street set. There are definitely a lot of things here that are done better, that feel better than the main build. There is quite a lot of building that goes into this. It took quite some time for me to put it together compared to what I would expect for an alternate model. This is a 1,459 piece set, and this doesn't use all of those parts, but it uses quite a lot of them. And it uses a bunch of the smaller pieces that require you to take some extra time. So there's definitely additional value provided by this. I appreciate that. I respect that. But it's not enough to sell it to me yet. And that's why, well, that's one of the reasons that I'm going to take this apart again and build it into its final model. And then I'll give you another thoughts video like this, another overview video like this with the C model, which brings everything together into a single tall tower. So that's yet to come. Again, my main review is already up on the channel, so you can see that. Thank you for watching. Hope that this provided some value to you, and I'll talk to you again soon.